we sit silently and watch the world around us. This has taken a lifetime to learn. It seems only the old are able to sit next to one another and not say anything and still feel content. The young, brash and impatient must always break the silence. It is a waste, for silence is pure. Silence is holy. It draws people together because only those who are comfortable with each other can sit without speaking. This is the great paradox. If you want to make progress, put up with being perceived as ignorant or naive in worldly matters. Don't aspire to a reputation for sagacity. If you do impress others as somebody, don't altogether believe it. You have to realize it isn't easy to keep your will in agreement with nature as well as externals. Caring about the one inevitably means you are going to shortchange the other. Do not live half a life, and do not die a half death. If you choose silence, then be silent. When you speak, do so until you are finished. If you accept, then express it bluntly. Do not mask it. If you refuse, then be clear about it, for an ambiguous refusal is but a weak acceptance. Do not accept half a solution. Do not believe half-truths. Do not dream half a dream. Do not fantasize out half-hopes. Half the way will get you nowhere. You are a whole that exists to live a life, not half a life. For what prevents us from saying that the happy life is to have a mind that is free, lofty, fearless, and steadfast. A mind that is placed beyond the reach of fear, beyond the reach of desire, that counts virtue the only good, baseness the only evil, and all else but a worthless mass of the things, which come and go without increasing or diminishing the highest good, and neither subtract any part from the happy life, nor add any part to it. A man thus grounded must, whether he wills or not, necessarily be attended by constant cheerfulness and a joy that is deep and issues from deep within, since he finds delight in his own resources and desires no joys greater than his inner joys.
If you focus on your goals being inevitable for you, you will see evidence of it everywhere.
See, the marketplace rewards those who have evolved. The marketplace rewards those who have become more valuable. You will be rewarded for the pain. Cry in secret, bleed in secret, but in public you'll be rewarded.
Who you are today is just a point of reference. Don't you ever confuse your potential with who you are right now.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going.
You do the math, you solve one problem, then you solve the next one.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
You have to get up.
Whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass.
I tell people, many people wait for greatness. And they believe we have all this time to live, but we only have a moment. And I'm telling you, kings and queens, it's time to go after the dreams that we want. It's time to conquer everything that we believe in, and everything that we know is deep down in our soul, what belongs to us.
Then, you consistently keep improving in that area. From all the action, learning, and new intentions you are setting, then, from all the improvements you are making, you start believing more and more.
Greater intentions, greater beliefs mixed with action and learning creates amazing results.
Because when you see the invisible, you're able to do the impossible. only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will.
If you can stay hungry, you can get the resources. If you can stay hungry, you can get the strategy. If you can stay hungry, the ideas gonna come. If you can stay hungry, the connections will be aligned. If you can stay hungry.
And say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
It all starts with honesty. Ask yourself what you've been lying to yourself about. Consciously admit that you've been bullshitting yourself about that thing and do everything in your power to go out and change it. You'll start to move forward and achieve that thing. You'll start respecting yourself more. You'll start carrying yourself differently. It ain't easy to do, but I promise you, it'll be worth it.
It is the chaos of the time that creates the conqueror in the man. So when God gets ready to reveal to you what you have in you, he will often place you in the midst of chaos to push you.
Why do you want to work out? What is your goal? The most important thing is that you have a vision, that you have a goal.
We can't work out without purpose. We need to get into our dress for the wedding. Summertime's coming, so we want to look all good. Our high school reunion's coming up, so we gotta lose weight. The biggest purpose in life isn't all that shit. It's how you respect yourself, how you look at yourself. That's an everyday journey.
Things that are difficult, when you do these difficult things, you're stressing your mind, or I should say, not even stressing your mind, exercising your mind and exercising your body's ability to manage intense situations. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's very testing.
Look at training as something that builds character, work ethic. Look at training as something that really builds confidence. Look at training that shows you how to fail and shows you how to get up and win.
If you stop working on yourself, your mind will grow weaker. You must make a commitment that nothing is more important than your self-development. Because a stronger you is a better you. And a better you is better for everyone around you.
The truth is, most of the days I don't want to go to the gym, but I do, even though I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking tornado, if there's a snowstorm, if there's a hurricane, if the fucking world is on fire, the job has to get done.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself.
Tell the world one time what you're gonna do, and that's it. Spend less time talking and more time grinding. Think like a champion. Speak like a champion. And then walk it out. Grind 120 all day, every day.
Because you don't have to be great to start. But you need to start in order to become great. Start today on your journey to greatness.
It's what you do with what you have.
Are you capable of grappling with the fact that you're fundamentally flawed to the point where you have to break things down into almost childlike steps in order to manage them? And the answer to that is, yeah, you are.
Much of the time, our mind is like a balloon in the wind, blown here and there by external circumstances.
Sometimes you want to expand your style and like grow, and that's always good, but like never veer too far from who you are, you know, as a person.
I think a lot of what happiness is a management issue, and decisions that you're making right now, like you could be in a state of mind right now, but you can make some decisions to adjust that, and over the next couple hours, you'll get to a much better place.
I mean, those who have experienced the pains, difficulties, understand from their own experience the pains and sufferings of others too.
The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that.
How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is.
Tear down this mirror. Tear down this mirror that makes you always look at yourself. And you will be able to look beyond this mirror and see the millions of people that need your help.
And you will make a huge impact on the life of the street, the town, the country, and our planet. Choose to help on any given day, in any given cause. Incredible things will happen in the world you live in.
Shower, bathroom, or this or that. All this, another 2-3 hours gone. So literally 50% of life is gone daily basis, just for basic maintenance of this life. 50% of the time is gone in maintenance, remaining 50% what they have. If you look at every single move that they may make with their body, their thought process, their emotion, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words, if you are a little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue. So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life. I'm not the issue, my thought, my emotion. My body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy, and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life, but I would say for 90 of the human beings, their own body. Then the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time.
Attack the dawn. It was early, always early, when Toni Morrison awoke to write. In the dark, she would move quietly, making that first cup of coffee. She'd sit at her desk in her small apartment, and as her mind cleared and the sun rose and the light filled the room, she would write. She did this for years, practicing this secular ritual, used not just by writers, but by countless busy and driven people for all time. Writers all devise ways to approach that place where they expect to make the contact. She'd later reflect where they become the conduit, or where they engage in this mysterious process. For me, light is the signal in the transition. It's not being in the light, it's being there before it arrives. It enables me in some sense, but of course, it was as practical as it was spiritual, because at the beginning of her career, Morrison was also a single working mother of 2 young boys. Her job as an editor for Random House occupied her days, her children every other minute, and by the late evening, she was burned out, too tired to think. It was the precious early morning hours between the parting dark and the rising dawn, before her boys uttered the word Mama, before the pile of manuscripts from work demanded her attention, before the commute, before the pound calls, before the bills beckoned, before the dishes needed to be done. It was then that she could be a writer. Early, she was free. Early, she was confident and clear-headed and full of energy. Early, the obligations of life existed only in theory and not in fact. All that mattered, all that was there, was the story, the inspiration and the art. There she was, starting her first novel in 1965, freshly divorced, 34 years old, and struggling as one of the few black women in an incredibly white male industry. Yet in her mind, this was the height of life. She was no longer a child, and yet for all her responsibilities, everything was quite simple. Her kids needed her to be an adult. So did her unfinished novel. Wake up, show up, be present, give it everything you've got, which she did. Even after The Bluest Eye was published to rave reviews in 1970, she followed it with 10 more novels, 9 non-fiction works, 5 children's books, 2 plays, and short stories, and she earned herself a National Book Award, a Nobel Prize, and a Presidential Medal. Yet for all the plaudits, she must have been most proud of having done it while being a great mother, a great working mother. Of course, it's not exactly fun to wake up early. Even the people who have reaped a lifetime of benefits from it still struggle with it. You think you're not a morning person. Nobody is a morning person, but at least in the morning we are free. Hemingway would talk about how he'd get up early because there was no one to disturb you, and it is cool or cold, and you come to your work and warm as you write. Morrison found she was just more confident in the morning before the day had exacted its toll, and the mind was fresh.